Hi, so I'm saying this, I've said this thing before and I'm saying it again. So some people think that once they relocate from Nigeria to the UK or once they get into the UK or some of these country people travel to now, I mean, within 1 week of your arrival, you already have gotten yourself a work. I mean, you already have in mind that, okay, once I get in, I'm starting work immediately without maybe having a provision for the work before you come, or maybe having a standby agent that's going to help you to get the work. I mean, some people have this intuition or this mentality that once they get in, they're getting work immediately and they're starting to make money. I mean, it's not entirely true because if, say, for example, that you've just relocated, using UK for an example, this is a place or this is a country where they are very very strict with the people that get into the country. So they want to scrutinize you. They want to know who you are. They want to get some checks done with you before they can be able to offer you anything, because they know some people come in maybe on a visitor's visa, and when you're coming as a visitor in the country you're not expected to work, you're not supposed to work. They know some people coming like this, and so they want to scrutinize you and make sure that the visa you've come into is you've come in with is a reliable visa that you can be able to use to work. So some persons have this this mentality that once they get in, they can be able to get work and start making money, then they can be able to pay their debts back home. You would get a work, but then it's not as fast as you think. It's not as easy as you think. So many people are coming in now, so it's making it a bit more tougher to even get a job. But people don't understand this. This is where the proof of fund you provide before you come in here, where it's useful. Because the main reason for proof of fund is just for you to have something that will be able to sustain you when you've just newly entered, and then to when you're able to get something doing. So for example, now you've come in and then you need to settle down, get a house. Probably you've gotten a house before you come, so you are now in your house and then you want to start applying for job. Believe me, it takes you at least 1 week for you to even get a response from an employer. Sometimes or when it's faster, you will get a response maybe say after 3-4 days. But in some cases, after 1 week, you will get a response, okay, whether you are qualifying for the interview or not. So let's say after 1 week you're qualified for an interview, and then you've gone for the interview, and at the end of the day you are successfully chosen. Mind you, it's not always easy like that for you to just go for an interview and for you to be chosen, because a lot of people will also be attending that same interview. And then when you've been selected or when you've been chosen for this job, you are expected to do some checks. Some of these checks includes a police check, the one they call a DBS check. DBS check takes as far as 2 weeks for the results to be out. Now you've come in and you've stayed extra 2 weeks without a job. You are feeding, you are taking care of some of your personal needs and all of that. And then when the DBS is done, they are waiting for they want you to do some training. Some of them will send you some of this training for you to do online. Sometimes it takes up to 1 week for you to be done with the training. Now they want you to have the training physical again. Maybe you have to go to their head office or something. Sometimes they will tell you they're doing some documentation, and then they will get back to you when they are done. You don't even know when they're going to be done. So say for example, now that you are coming in with your family, this analysis I'm giving is in a case where you are getting the job as soon as you've entered. I mean, you've entered the country and then you are getting a job immediately. This is the analysis of how long you would have to wait before you'll be able to start doing this job. What if you've been applying for this job and nobody have been calling you for the interview? So now you've wasted for let's say 3 to 4 weeks before, maybe after the documentation, after everything, before you're able to get a job. This is a case where you've entered immediately and then you've gotten a job. This is quite easier. Now, what if it's a case where you've not even gotten an apartment when you were coming? You were still in Nigeria, but before you came in, you've not gotten an apartment. You have in mind coming in, staying in a hotel for some days, then try to get an apartment, because sometimes it's not always easy when you're in Nigeria to try getting an apartment from Nigeria. Most of those agents, they will not even listen to you. They would prefer people who are already here. So let's say, for example, you've already come in, you're in a hotel, you've paid for a hotel for 1 week, and then you are trying to get a house. The stress of even getting the house and the stress of finding something to do is something else. Some people, even after 1 week, they've come to stay in a hotel. Even within the space of that 1 week, they're not still able to get an apartment. And especially people that are coming in with a family. When you're coming in with your family, it's much difficult. Unless you have someone here who is helping you to run around for all of these things before you come in. Because if you're coming in as a single person, it's easier. At least you're not having any distraction. You're not thinking of any other person. You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about your safety. You're thinking about how you would settle in. Sometimes it's quite easier when it's only you alone. But when you've come in with your family, it's something that is it's brain draining. Imagine you've come in, you've stayed for 1 week, you've not been able to get an apartment, because some of these people, when you've said it's family, they would want so many references. Some people, for example, you're coming in as a student, they want a reference from your school, they want your ID card, they want your police reports, and you as someone that just stepped in, you've not done any DBS, you've not had any police report. How do you do it? And then you are doing it with your family too. So some people, they would come in, they would stay in the hotel. After 1 week, they've not even gotten a place. They're still looking for a place. They're still looking for people that would accept them to come in. Then at the end of the day, maybe after 1 or after 2 weeks, you've gotten a place to stay. Then you start hunting for a job. Remember, this whole week or this whole days you've spent in a hotel, you are spending money. You are spending money on feeding. You are spending money on transport. You know, your normal run around. You're going to check out for houses and all of that. How much do you have, after the whole travel process? Then when you now want to start hunting for a job, you apply for different places, you apply for different roles, you go for interview, you are not successful. Sometimes they don't even call you for interview, they don't even get back to you. You apply for so many jobs and it's none of them is forthcoming. You are still eating the money you've come home, you had with you. Sometimes even after 1 week, or after 1 month, there have not been any successful one. How do you cope? How do you do it? Especially when you come in with your family. It takes you to just come in, settle down, then start looking for this job and then, start doing it bit by bit. Some people, it takes them 2 months before they get a job. You will not believe it. It's only what they come to the internet to the internet to showcase, or to the internet to tell you that you will know. Some people come and they waste as whole as 2 months. They've not gotten something doing. Some people get stranded because they cannot even renew their rent. The essence of this video is just to prepare your mind. So if you're coming in, first of all, the proof of fund you have with you, this is where it comes in. This is the places where you need them. Say, for example, you've borrowed money as your proof of fund. You come in, you know you're going to pay that money back, and you're going to pay some of the money that you've used for your travel. You need to refund them. Please try as much as you can to give these people time. Don't let them know that immediately you are coming in, you are giving them money back immediately. It's not always easy like that. Sometimes it's something that you do gradually. So I was watching a video where a family just came in on a student visa. It was the husband, it was the woman who is the student, then the husband and the kids are the dependents. They have 5 children. And you know what happened? They had to come in at once. This one is not even like, let the woman go first, then let others follow. No. They want to prepare their village people. They came in once. And then when they came in, what happened? They stayed in a hotel for after 1 week. They've not gotten an apartment. 2 weeks, they've not gotten an apartment. With 5 children, you know how much you'll be paying for a hotel rent or for a hotel bill? With children, with kids. After 1 month, they are still in a hotel. They've not gotten where to stay. Because where will you go to? You will need to rent at least a 3-bedroom flat for those kids, for your family. When you're renting a 3-bedroom flat, you know how much it is. And then you are paying extra deposits. How you'll be feeding, of course. How do you cope? How do you do all of these things? Then within this time of 3 months, 3 weeks, they're still in the hotel. They've not gotten a job. None of them have gotten a work. They've stayed for the first month. The second month, none of them were able to get a job. Not even the husband or the wife. What do you expect? How would you be able to continue to feed the family? Because you will need a job to sustain yourself, of course. So when they've stayed for after 2 months, after 1 month, after 2 months, before the man now got the job. So how do you cope with the family and before the woman now got a job, the man has not. So how do you cope with the family and the school you're going to? Of course, school gives you just 20 hours to work. So when you're working for 20 hours, you need to study. So how much would you earn for a 20 hours work in a week, and how would you be able to use it to sustain your family? These are the things you need to plan out. Some people will say, oh, let me come in first with my husband. Let me come in with my... Of course, it's very okay for you to come with your husband. Then leave the kids behind. So at least one of you will be working full-time. The other one will be working half-time. Then you're able to re-strategize and then bringing your family and your kids together. But people don't understand it like that. They just want to come in once and then So the essence of this video is just for you to plan yourself, plan your life. Don't come to another man's land to get stranded. This place is more like an island. You don't have anybody to talk to. Of course, if you want to talk to somebody back home, that person doesn't have a reasonable advice for you because he or she does not understand what is happening. So it's better for you to use your teeth and count your tongue and count your teeth to understand how you need to do this.